Welcome to the Conservation Podcast with your hosts, Karen and Big Al.
We've got a big show for you guys today. We'll be featuring two top-tier experts for our discussion about deforestation in the Amazon. Some topics they'll be talking about today are forms of deforestation, deforestation in the Amazon, air quality, and impact on different species.
Before we get started, we would like to thank our sponsors, John Mugg's Manure and Chia Pets.
Now, I would like to welcome our experts, Dr. Tom Linsky and Dr. Ava Gowell.
Hey guys, thanks for having us on today.
We're glad to be here.
So let's start off by talking about your careers. Tom, you're an established plant biologist. Can you tell the listeners a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, of course. I have a PhD in botany from Michigan State University, and I've been studying conservation in the Amazon for over a decade.
Thank you, Tom. Now tell us about yourself, Ava.
I also have a PhD in botany with a wildlife specialty. I've always had an interest in conservation of the rainforest, and I was originally introduced to Tom through my graduate work at Michigan State University.
Well, it sounds like we have some great guests for our listeners today.
Right you are, Al. We all know, and I don't think this is any secret, that our Amazon rainforest is decreasing in size and mass. Can you tell us a little bit about this, Ava?
Sorry, Karen. I'd like to interrupt and emphasize the different types of deforestation involved with the Amazon rainforest before we move on.
Sure.
A lot of people seem to think deforestation is just a general, broad term coined for the destruction of rainforest. What they don't know is deforestation has subcategories.
Subcategories?
Yeah, the categories are fires, clear cutting for agriculture, ranching and development, unsustainable logging for timber, and degrading due to climate change.
Interesting. Let's get back to Ava. Could you tell us about the deforestation in the Amazon?
Sure thing. Forests cover 31% of land area on our planet, and since 1978, 750,000 square kilometers of the Amazon rainforest has been destroyed. The deforestation has and still affects countries such as Brazil and Peru, to name a few.
Wow, that is a lot of land. What do people need all this land for?
Yeah, so most of the land is being used for lumber, but shortly after the logging companies have left the region, they sell the land to farmers who often have cattle.
Why would cattle be an issue?
Raising cattle is an issue because it can devastate the soil and plant life in the region. This is a result of overgrazing. When the farmers add more livestock to their herd, they sometimes don't have enough land to support them, and the once fertile soil will erode and lose its rich nutrients. Overgrazing can also be the result of poor farming techniques.
I can't imagine there are many cows in the Amazon rainforest.
No, there are not, but the poor management of these animals means that the soil loses its nutrients and can never be used to house a massive forest for a long time.
Oh, I see the problem now. Now I suspect cutting down all of those trees is bad for the air?
Yeah, actually, I'd like to talk about that if I can, Karen.
Go for it.
The Amazon is a large producer of oxygen, and tragically, about 15% of all greenhouse gas emissions are caused from deforestation.
That just doesn't make sense to me. If we're losing a producer of oxygen and producing a greenhouse gas while we do it, what's the point?
It doesn't make sense to me either, Al. As we all know, global warming is a major issue in society right now. In fact, trees release water vapor into the air that help regulate the temperature of the atmosphere. So, when the trees are cut down, it causes an imbalance and the global temperature rises.
That is very interesting.
Yeah, indeed.
I know air quality is very important to me. What else does the deforestation affect within the Amazon?
Because of my specialty in wildlife, I am very passionate about the animals that live there. I know there are hundreds of species that rely on the land we are destroying.
We
We as in humans. It is estimated that we have over 5 million species of animals, plants, and insects in the Amazon rainforest. The relationship is best quoted by my old professor, John Mugg. In the rainforest, it's common to be rare and rare to be common. With such a large number, you have to consider the impact we have made.
Since this problem is something that we humans have created, are there any ways that we can help decrease deforestation rates?
Of course there are. Simple, at-home actions can make a small difference in deforestation. Recycling, planting a tree, going paperless, carpooling, overall making your carbon footprint smaller will be helpful. So even if you can't go out to the forest yourself, always remember that the small efforts can help add up.
There are also larger ways of helping too. The World Wildlife Fund is working to stop illegal logging as well as creating protected areas and forests. Joining in organizations such as WWF will help create larger impact on the decrease of deforestation.
So all of our listeners should be able to find their way to support this cause. Everyday activities can really affect a large societal issue such as deforestation.
Well, it looks like we're coming near the end of today's podcast. Dr. Gowell, Dr. Linsky, is there anything else that you'd like to say to our viewers?
We just want to emphasize that the Amazon deforestation is a big problem due to its ecological impact on the region, the world's air quality, and the impact on the local animals.
Thank you for having us on your show.
We appreciate the spotlight on this societal issue.
It was a pleasure to have you guys on.
Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedules to enlighten us and our listeners about deforestation.
If you'd like to help stop deforestation in the Amazon, you can log on to our website and donate through the link.
Thanks for listening today. Check back next time for our latest episode.